For each influencer who is loved by the masses, there are just as many who are despised. Starting with Mike Van Wick, who is the textbook definition of roid rage. Mike started his fitness journey with the simple goal of getting bigger to play sports. But as he spent more time in the gym, he realized his passion for bodybuilding and focused on getting as big as possible. After doing a couple of shows in Boston, Mike went back to Canada where he became an IFBB certified bodybuilder. But following a few injuries, Mike decided to take his talents to the gym where he vowed to help other people achieve their goals. However, there was something that always irked Mike, and it was apparent from a video he posted back in 2022 titled My Story. In the video, Mike talked about several things, one of which being what was the thing he hated the most.
The biggest misconceptions are kind of like my mission statement when it comes to training. It's like I want to eliminate all the, I'll try and keep it PG because I don't know who's watching this, but all the fluff from the industry and these fake frauds who are claiming that they know this, they know that. They do the tagline science-based behind everything or like whatever it might be. But literally none of them move properly.
And by October 2024, Mike got into an online spat with another fitness influencer who worked out at his gym, Jeff Nippard. Mike's point remained consistent throughout the years, that science-based lifters didn't know what they were talking about. While the controversy fundamentally stemmed from a disagreement between training styles, Jeff came out of the situation as the level-headed person, as he responded with a video posted on his YouTube channel. Mike, on the other hand, thought physical assault was the way to clear up this argument. And despite a number of people trying to talk some sense into Mike, he continued to bully Jeff and even pushed another member of his crew to the side. The situation left Jeff Nippard in the hospital, but people around the internet united against Mike's roid rage and called him out for being out of control. Mike responded by playing the victim and using all the attention he was getting to promote his merch. Comments everywhere were clowning Mike, saying, "Here is an example of displaying aggression out of fear that someone smaller than you is wildly more successful." And, "If Mike is so confident about his training methods, then why would he feel insecure about science-based training styles and need steroids to make up for his lack of results?" Following the incident, Jeff Nippard pressed charges, and a large group of fans came out to support his decision, including many other popular fitness influencers. And it's no surprise considering Jeff Nippard is one of the most followed fitness influencers on the internet. With over 6 million subscribers on YouTube, Jeff Nippard is one of the biggest science-based influencers on the internet. But growing up, Jeff had different dreams. As a kid, he wanted to be an NBA player, taking inspiration from NBA legend Allen Iverson. But as he grew older, he realized that it was incredibly difficult to make it pro as a 5'5" athlete. So he changed his goals and found a passion for powerlifting. By 2012, Jeff earned the title of Mr. Junior Canada for natural bodybuilding, and later went on to hold the Canadian national record for a bench press in 2014. And by that time, Jeff had seen a gap in the content space for people looking for a science-based approach towards bodybuilding, which was something that suited his personality more.
To make it a little bit less personal and a little more informative.
Yeah.
And that matches much better with my personality too.
Yeah.
Like I can do my training. If I want to post that on, Instagram or TikTok or whatever, then I can do that. Mm-hmm. The people who want to, keep up with my stuff. But then for most people, I would rather just be seen as like an educator.
With a Bachelor of Science degree in biochemistry, Jeff was perfectly equipped with the right tools to add a layer of scientific insight to his routines. And people loved it, calling him way more legit than most YouTube fitness bros, and saying, if you're looking for science-based approaches to bodybuilding, he is S tier. His videos now average millions of views per upload, with grateful fans who appreciate his content that has helped him start their fitness journey and stay motivated to achieve their goals. And during his beef with Mike, people sided with Jeff mainly due to the fact that he doesn't pretend like he has all the answers. Jeff might have some controversial takes for some, but he always remains respectful towards everyone. However, unlike Jeff, Vegan Gains, aka Richard, is one of the most hated fitness influencers on the internet. Richard gained most of his social media following through posting highly controversial videos which involved him promoting veganism in an extreme way, or just saying the most unhinged stuff you could find anywhere.
When I see babies in a commercial, I start to gag and almost throw up, and I have to look away and mute it. And when I see babies in a stroller, especially when they're crying, I just want to put my foot through the thing and step on.
Basically, his entire brand was to explain how his way or style was better than the rest. And if you didn't follow it, you deserve everything bad that comes your way. A good example of this psychotic behavior came when another fitness YouTuber, Furious Pete, uploaded a video talking about his struggles with cancer. Now, Furious Pete had already shared his views on veganism and how he felt that the community around it was incredibly toxic. So, after he uploaded his video about cancer, Vegan Gains uploaded a sarcastic video where he blamed Pete's lifestyle choices for his cancer, which ironically proved Pete's point about the vegan community.
And it seems I was correct because Pete got cancer again. Oh, so sad. And before you all start calling me a sociopath as some sort of attempt to insult me, how about you consider the fact that Furious Pete makes fun of the suffering and death of the animals he eats on a daily basis. So I don't see why I shouldn't make a joke about his suffering and death. So who would like a "haha, you're gonna die of cancer" t-shirt?
Richard got a lot of backlash for this insane video. But as the self-proclaimed sociopath that he is, his story just gets much worse. In 2015, Richard received a lot of criticism after his grandfather collapsed due to a heart attack. What was psychotic was the fact that Richard's first response was to record him and upload the video on YouTube to show the impacts of having a bad diet.
Anyway, I was planning on showing you guys footage of my grandfather actually having the heart attack. As soon as the paramedics got to the house, I took out my camera and started filming. But a bunch of people in my family, my mom, my grandmother, uncles, shit like that, they threw a big fucking fit about me showing that footage on YouTube. They're perfectly fucking fine with eating foods that cause fucking heart disease and make people actually die of fucking heart attacks. But when it comes to actually showing people what happens when they eat these foods, that's just too much.
The whole situation was utterly bizarre, and Richard came off as a soulless monster, as many of the comments told him that. However, the worst thing Richard could have done for his YouTube career was pick a fight with one of the biggest commentary channels on YouTube, Penguin Zero. And it's odd, considering the whole thing began after Charlie uploaded a video calling out a South Korean mukbang channel for torturing living animals for content. It was especially odd, considering this should have been something Richard agreed with, but he found a way to criticize Charlie.
So I find it interesting that Penguin will complain about So Young abusing, torturing, and murdering these sentient animals, these very intelligent animals, by the way, like octopi and squid, but he's totally fine with abusing, torturing, and murdering other very intelligent animals, you know, in the meat industry.
Charlie responded by saying Vegan Gains was doing way more harm to the vegan community by pulling stunts like these.
This is the worst way of ever getting anyone to convert to that belief. By constantly antagonizing them and throwing insults to anyone that is not already a vegan ensures that they will never take it seriously and always have a negative impression of your beliefs.
And now, many years later, it's no surprise that Richard doesn't have an audience anymore. His antics have not only made people hate him, but even vegans have distanced themselves from his extreme views. And while Vegan Gains has proven time and again that he's a deranged sociopath, Joey Swoll is like the kind big brother of the online fitness community. It's hard to believe that the CEO of positivity in the fitness community was once hopeless with no sign of a way out. In a tweet posted in 2023, Joey mentioned how in 2020 he was addicted to opioids and had suicidal tendencies. But ever since, he's changed his life and grown on multiple platforms to build a community of millions of people who love his content. But Joey isn't like your usual fitness content creators. While others focus on getting you the best exercises for your workout routine, Joey takes his time calling out entitled and disrespectful people who think the gym is their personal property. A lot of these toxic people were getting way too comfortable posting videos like these.
What?
I will never understand why when people see somebody doing an exercise that they don't do or they don't understand, feel the need to judge them or make fun of them or take a video of them.
Thinking they would get away with it by playing the victim on TikTok. However, all of that changed when Joey Swoll arrived on the scene. With the rise of clout chasers looking to embarrass people in the gym for views, Joey acts as the voice of reason and shuts down people like this.
You put your phone on a dumbbell rack, then get upset with people when they walk in your video trying to grab some weights? Seriously? I'm sorry. You don't own the gym, and when you're filming, you're the inconvenience, not the people that are trying to work out.
Joey has gained a lot of popularity with his videos, and fans really appreciate the change he's brought to gym culture. And while Joey Swoll continues to gain followers for each new video, Dylan McKnight lost his entire audience after posting one video. After starting out doing parkour videos in 2016, Dylan was on the rise thanks to his likable personality and his understanding of what it took to grow an audience on YouTube. He would regularly react to his fans' videos while hosting Q&A sessions answering questions. With a growing audience, Dylan had also been working out behind the scenes, and once he gained muscle, his following skyrocketed. The major selling point on his channel was the fact that Dylan had completely transformed his body in the span of a single year. However, many believed that this kind of transformation just wasn't possible naturally. His physique was a topic of discussion throughout the internet, with fans and content creators not sure whether this man had gone through the greatest transformation ever, or if he was just another scam artist. The discussion lasted a few years until December 23, 2023, when Dylan posted a video titled, "Why I Took Steroids and Lied About It."
I never asked to be pedestalized. I never asked for any of that. So I want to make it very clear. In this video, I will not be apologizing for a mistake I made. I'm simply owning up to that mistake and taking accountability as a man. And that is why you will not hear me say sorry today. Because the truth of the matter is, right, making this video right now is debatably one of the most selfless things I have ever done in my entire life.
Now, YouTube is full of some terrible apology videos, but this might be right up there as being one of the worst.
I don't know why I did it. I was just a stupid kid. I had a tough time growing up. You know, I just never really felt like it was enough. And I think that's why I got into social media in the first place. You know, to get that attention that I never got. And what did I do once I got that attention? I lied to you all. But I hope in time that you can forgive me.
Probably because Dylan didn't actually apologize to anyone. He simply said he was going to take accountability for his actions and move on, while actively trying to gaslight his audience into believing that the years Dylan spent convincing viewers that they could achieve a physique like his wasn't just him profiting off of insecure men by selling them a lie. The comments were not kind to Dylan, saying stuff like, "Don't worry, Dylan, I never looked up to you and knew you were lying from the beginning," and begging for sympathy, patting yourself on the back the whole time, deflecting, gaslighting. Great apology video, bro. And the most hypocritical part about all of this is how comfortably Dylan lied to everyone with a straight face. Like he did when just a few months before posting his apology, he called out Sam Sulek for glorifying steroid abuse. Dylan took a break following his video, and he's continued posting again, but his fanbase practically vanished. Unlike Sam Sulek, who seems to keep growing his fans by the day. In a world where influencers like Dylan hide behind lies of them being natural, Sam Sulek admits his steroid use head on and doesn't use it to fool his audience.
I remember talking about hitting 300 pounds back when I was a fucking 180 pounder, just as a joke. But it becomes more and more of a potentially tangible reality. Now, of course, that's enhanced. That's not 300 pounds natural. I'm sorry if I'm busting your bubble, but I don't think that's gonna happen. At least not with relatively low body fat.
Which is why he has gained over 3 million followers. Despite starting his journey on TikTok in 2022, Sam Sulek quickly gained a huge following thanks to his motivational videos.
We've all got a reasonable potential to do whatever. I think the people who can sort of, and this may just be luck, but if you can match a little bit of your latent ability with something that you become passionate about, then right there, this is the fuel and this is the spark.
And Sam was different from any other influencer at the time. Other influencers relied on big camera crews and well-produced videos. Sam's videos felt like going to the gym with a friend. His vlog-style videos were simple and felt authentic in a world of influencers who constantly tried to sell their products. Sam was just there to share his journey, and it shows from the comments he gets as people appreciate his content and his personality. Some fans say he's personable and doesn't bullshit anyone. He doesn't push snake oil supplements or programs, wears the most basic unbranded clothing, isn't a fake natty. However, others do believe that the way he's going, he might not make it to the age of 40. Regardless, Sam continues to inspire and motivate people, and Cali Muscle can't stop scamming his audience. Cali has been around the internet since 2008 when he looked something like this.
What's up, man? Cali Muscle here. And all y'all motherfuckers out there in the free world been asking me how I eat to get these big ass muscles.
He's been adamant of the fact that his body is natural and has always had an obsession with money.
This ain't nothing but a car, bro. When you got...
But regardless, Cali found a lot of success throughout his career as he amassed millions of followers on Instagram and YouTube, and has even appeared in several music videos as an actor. Despite this, Cali has always focused on ways to get more and more money, and he scammed his audience several times to get that bag. Like the time he started an online raffle to give his fans a chance to win his 2022 Ford Shelby GT500. He promoted heavily on his social media accounts, which many believe got him over $100,000 in just ticket sales. However, when Cali announced a winner, the man actually chose to take $50,000 over the car, which was well over $100,000. Many people in the comments were certain that this was another scam.
You already know people are gonna be like, oh, there was, $1 bills in there, and did it throw a wrench in there for you?
It did.
Cali continues to try and find people to sign up for his course where he promises to help them grow their brand and social media audience, while he fails to crack even 50,000 views on his videos. Worst of all, however, Cali suffered a heart attack in 2021, after which he was most likely told by doctors to stop abusing steroids, something Cali does regret.
So 34, I would tell myself, don't do bodybuilding shows and don't take all that synthetic made in the lab. That's what I would tell myself.
On the contrary, Noel Deyzel is loved by the fitness community for everything Cali is hated for. Noel, also known as Daddy by his followers, is one of the most genuine, humble, and humorous fitness influencers around. His videos have just the right amount of humor mixed with motivational advice on how to grow your body, but it's his openness and honesty that make him stand out from the crowd. Noel is quite open about his struggles growing up in South Africa, where he went through an incredibly dark time, often not having enough money to put food on the table. But now, Noel has over 7 million followers on TikTok, and a supportive audience who have gotten a lot of practical advice by watching his videos. Most importantly, Noel doesn't fool his audience into thinking he's natty. In fact, he's been extremely transparent about his steroid use, saying that getting a physique like this is impossible without PEDs.
I will never disclose what gear I'm using because I have a large younger audience. And the last thing I want is for any one of them to get hurt because of something I said. I've seen people promoting cycles for younger audiences on TikTok, and that just isn't okay. The fitness industry has some of the most supportive and good people I've come by. At the same time, some of the most arrogant, self-absorbed people with hidden agendas.
And it's no surprise that his honesty has made him one of the biggest and most well-respected fitness influencers on the internet. Which just goes to show how far an honest personality will take you. However, that's not always the case. Despite being one of the most recognizable people in the world, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is definitely not telling the truth when it comes to his physique. The Rock is arguably one of the most iconic people of the 21st century, with his fame coming from his long stint in pro wrestling and doing blockbuster action films later in his career. However, recently, The Rock has been losing followers after his lies have been exposed. He was, however, always blessed with a physique for pro wrestling, thanks largely because of his genetics and some help with performance-enhancing drugs. In the early days of pro wrestling, everyone was taking some kind of steroids, despite The Rock's best efforts to convince everyone that he was totally natural. In an interview with Forbes magazine, Johnson comes clean on being clean. Indeed, Johnson's body is the stuff of CGI fantasy. At 6'5", 250 pounds, with biceps the size of your skull, he looks even bigger than when he wrestled. Training is my anchor, he says, being on a regimented schedule, setting a goal, failing at a goal. It's the philosophies of being an athlete that carry me today. He's so shredded and veiny in photos from the gym that critics and online forums accuse him of using steroids. Johnson has said he hasn't touched them since he was 18, when he tried them before college. Sure, you get a lot of people out there who will suspect and say shit, he says. They want to negate the hard work you put in. Judging by his diet, it's hard to think he cuts corners. He chugs protein shakes. He calls them liquid crack. and eats 5 or 6 meals a day, each protein, fat, and carbohydrate tallied. And after he retired, The Rock had gotten much leaner and fitter, mainly because of the fact that he wanted roles in comedies and drama films. But once that didn't work out, The Rock got back into the gym and started bulking up, which was a wise move for his career. However, many fans and fitness influencers alike have always been skeptical of The Rock's claims of having a natural physique.
I would believe that The Rock would be on TRT, which is testosterone replacement therapy.
Yeah, but I mean, if that's all if he's saying that's all he's ever done, that's crazy talk.
Yeah, it's like at that point, it's weird. It's like trying to half tell the truth, but not
right
at all at the same time.
It's common knowledge to lose muscle after you hit a certain age, but The Rock kept increasing in size and was way bigger in his 40s than he was in his prime.
I mean, he was like very athletic, great genetics, big, strong guy.
Yeah.
But he didn't look anything like he looks now. The mass and the striations.
Now, many people would be willing to give The Rock some leeway considering he's been their favorite superstar for decades. But with the amount of lies he continues to share, it's hard to be on board. Greg Doucette has made several videos on The Rock's dietary plans and how he promotes himself as a natural guy who's just extremely hardworking. But everything about his physique goes against science and common sense.
It's not like he's out of shape. He's a fit guy. Fitness has been part of his lifestyle, but the amount of muscle he could support as a natural is just not night and day between then and now in current day when this guy's walking around probably 20, 30 pounds heavier.
While everyone pretty much agrees on the fact that The Rock is lying about his natural body, he continues to repeat the lie in hopes of people believing him if he says the same thing over and over again. Following the release of his latest film, Black Adam, The Rock was the biggest he'd ever been in his life despite being over 50. Similarly, Will Tennyson also has a lot of doubters when it comes to people questioning his physique. However, he's proven time and time again that his gains weren't the product of years of PED abuse. Unlike many other influencers, Will has steered clear of any major controversies throughout his YouTube career. With a charming persona, Will has managed to gain over 3 million subscribers on YouTube, with many fans who admire his work ethic and drive. Will differentiates himself from the rest with his content, as he posts a variety of interesting videos, the most viewed of them being his video spending 24 hours in a fat suit. While many people would have taken the opportunity to get as many laughs out of the situation as possible, Will approached the subject with empathy and tried to communicate just how difficult life can be when you're overweight.
The way that you look directly affects how people treat you. There's definitely a lack of respect, and people look at you like the first immediate impression's yuck.
However, with the build he has, many people doubt that Will is actually natty, even though he claims he is. Many people have chimed in on the debate, saying stuff like, "Personally, I think he's natty." There was a post about him here recently, and the consensus was that he is natural. You can find pics of him all the way back to when he started lifting, and it's steady progression. Nothing crazy, no jumps in strength or size. And while others don't think he's natty, the debate will remain. Will constantly uploads entertaining videos for his viewers while remaining respectful. On the contrary, everyone agrees Mike O'Hearn is on the juice. Having been around for many years, Mike has built a respectable following with over 3 million followers on Instagram, where he shares his views on bodybuilding. But that's not all, as Mike has been a mainstay in pop culture, having appeared in many music videos and even made a cameo on an episode of the popular sitcom It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And while no one disagrees that Mike doesn't look like a Greek god, they do claim that there is no way he can be natural at his ripe old age of 50. Despite being asked this question numerous times, Mike goes against the science, saying that men's testosterone levels don't drop as they age.
Men's hormone levels dip as they get older.
No, they don't.
Not to call you old by any means.
For that reason, Mike's famously known as Mike O'Trin around the internet. And while Mike gained a significant boost in popularity during 2022 after an old shoot of his went viral, that just made him an even bigger meme on the internet. However, despite his claims, everyone believes that there's just no way Mike is all natural.